We need you to take action now to protect your Second Amendment rights. The Second Amendment is under attack like no other time in history. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have pledged to take away your Second Amendment rights through gun bans, gun confiscations, and government regulations. Radical gun legislation has already passed in the House and now headed to the Senate for a vote. Joe Biden has taken action through executive orders. You can help protect your Second Amendment rights by texting JOIN SAF to 474747. The Second Amendment Foundation is the oldest and largest nonprofit foundation focused on protecting your Second Amendment rights. We urgently need you to text JOIN SAF to 474747 or go to joinsaf.org. Your right to own a gun is on the line. Text JOIN SAF to 474747 or call the 800 number on your screen right now.
Hey everyone, my name is Paul Lathrop. I'm the Deputy Director of New Media for the Second Amendment Foundation. This is the Daily Bullet for the 7th of June, 2021. Normally I have somebody here beside me. Today I am doing it solo. Want to thank you for tuning in. What we normally do at this point is I would normally say, look, if you've got something you want me to talk about, go ahead and comment on either the Facebook or the YouTube videos. We'll get your comments on the air and we'll talk about them. News, since the last time we did one of these, which was last Wednesday, we have had one huge bit of news hit, and that was in California, where one of our lawsuits, the SAF, and we partner with a few other organizations with this, but an SAF lawsuit got a fantastic ruling. Judge Roger Benitez, in the case of excuse me here, give me a second. Trying to find it here again. It was the assault weapon. It is a case involving the California's assault weapon ban. And assault weapon I use with air quotes simply because there is no such thing in assault weapon is a term made up by anti-gun media. There is no such thing. But Judge Roger Benitez wrote a 94-page ruling that just blistered the state of California. Now, there is an automatic stay of the ruling for 30 days to give the New York time to appeal, because, as we all know, if they're elected, they're in California, that means they're incompetent, so they need the 30 days. Therefore, this is going to be appealed. The California Attorney General has already said he's going to appeal it. It'll go to the Ninth Circuit. Do not expect a favorable ruling there, wherein we will attempt to take it further after that. And I am that the ruling in and of itself is good news on a couple of fronts. It attacks the feature-related ban on just because your AR has a pistol grip, or just because it has a pistol grip and this or that it's the feature-related part that it goes after. Let's face it, it doesn't matter. ARs, any rifles are used extremely rarely in crime, because you cannot conceal a rifle like you can conceal a handgun. It just doesn't. It's a factor of size. You cannot conceal them like you can conceal a handgun. And criminals don't want to get stopped before they do their time, before they do their crime. So anyway, the other thing that's encouraging about it is the judge brought up common use in this one and mentioned that the Supreme Court has said that pepper spray is a common use. And pepper sprays, when it was brought up that pepper spray is common use and cannot be banned, there was something like 200 to 300,000 uses of pepper spray. Well, guess what? That there may be 200 to 300,000 ARs in a small state like South Dakota, not the whole country. We're talking in the many, many millions across the country. Yeah, I want to bring in a few social media comments here. 42 Chilled says 300 rifles a year, hands, feet, much more. That's absolutely true. He also says appeal to SCOTUS for a hopeful win if they take it. I agree, and look, I'm expecting a lot more. The move of the Supreme Court with Amy Coney Barrett in there, I'm expecting to move in the future. I've had brain damage. I've had a stroke. But my crystal ball says they're going to be taking more and more Second Amendment cases as time goes on. That's part of why my boss is the Second Amendment Foundation is filing so many cases, is with the expectation that when they finally get there, and it takes a long time, a very long time, for a case to get to the point where the Supreme Court can decide whether they're going to take it or not. It takes a very long time from the time it gets filed to the time where the Supreme Court can hear it. Dave, and I love this as well. David, you're absolutely right. I love the Swiss Army knife analog. I did too. The AR, and for those of you, I am not a gun aficionado. I know how to use them. I just myself this past weekend hosted a Masada U Group Mag 40 handgun training class. I know how to use guns. I've been through a lot of training in handguns. I know how to use rifles. Been shooting long guns since I was about yay high. But I am not as knowledgeable as a lot of people out there when it comes to the specifics about this particular handgun, that particular rifle. What I will say is the AR-15 is customizable to each and every person. It is the AR-15. You can make it so that the AR-15 we own, which is an M&P 15. Both my wife and I can shoot it extremely well. It's got the adjustable stock, and my wife can just adjust that stock down, and it fits her perfectly. I can adjust the stock back; it fits me. They are not only that, you can accessorize your AR-15 for your particular usage. Shoot well with irons, great. The irons with most of them come stock. You need a red dot, well, mine has one, and with the rail on top, you just mount it on there. I don't know where this one at. F-150. You mean don't bring a truck to a gunfight? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. There was in the ruling there was a analogy to the F-150 being a very popular pickup truck. Let's see here. And where are we going here? 42 Chelsea. Unless you have an A10. You know, I would love to have an A10, and I still believe you have the right, if you want one, to go and buy one. Fully functional. I believe you ought to be able to go, and if you've got the money in your bank account, write the check out to the U.S. government to buy a surplus one, fly away in it, and you've got your own little A10 for whatever you want to do it for. DJ says you want a real custom, build your own. We get to do that. You bet your backside we do. And you can build your own all the way from you have a 3D printer. You can 3D print your own lower receiver, and then the entire thing is your own. So, all right. Let's let's see here. I want to get to this here real quick. We still have the worst person ever nominated in the history of nominations up in front of the Senate for director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. And that would be David Chipman. I would really, really, really recommend that you continue bothering. And they're at this point, they're going to think it is a bother, but continue. Work on it. Email, call, regular snail mail. Get out the smoke signals, build a bonfire, get out the blankets, send out the smoke signals. Get in touch with both of your senators. Let them know that David Chipman, it needs to be nowhere near our rights. This guy wants, his stated goal is he wants the AR-15 out of the hands of civilians. The same AR-15 we just won the case in California with. The same AR-15 that we, should it get to the Supreme Court, I very much believe we will win there with. Chipman wants it gone. Chipman has worked for the last 10 years for anti-rights organizations. We need to get this guy out of nomination status. We do not want him anywhere near the ATF, because let's face it, the ATF right now is defining what a ghost gun is, or an 80% is. They're trying to, anything that could be converted, they're trying to get that through, that anything that could be converted to a working firearm needs to be going through the NICS system. Well, let's see, are you going, I could go to the Home Depot, and there used to be on YouTube, and I know I've heard you can find it other places, where there's a video out on the internet that shows you how you can pound a shovel into a receiver for an AK. So are we going to have to register the shovels, the spade shovels we go down to the Home Depot and buy? Charlie, you know what, Charlie, I should have you call. I should have you on the show sometime. Charlie Chambers just went through that Mag 40 class up here in Sioux Falls. Any comments about the ATF letter on brace for AR pistols? I haven't looked into that yet today, bud. I've been recovering from the Mag 40, and I've been doing a lot of work here around the house, getting things straightened up. But no, I haven't got. I haven't looked into that one that deeply. Great comment, DJ. The A10 was at $18.8 million new in 1972. How much for a used one? Can I trade my pickup? Not an F-150. Yeah, I don't know, DJ, because if you think about it right now, if you were to go try to find a 1972 Mustang, that thing's going to actually have appreciated in value, gone up in value since when you bought it in 1972. I occasionally look through classic car inventories, and I see muscle cars from the late 60s and early 70s going for $20,000-$30,000. You could buy them brand new for $1,800. So using that, I would say the A10 is a very collectible piece of military equipment. I think you'd have to spend a few more pennies than $18.8 million to get one, DJ. And he also says register tin cans. They can be used for receivers, plumbing pipe, nails, hangers, blocks of cheese. Absolutely, bud. Absolutely. And I've had some. If anybody here ever grew up and ate government cheese, that should be registered as a very lethal weapon. That stuff was absolutely dangerous. I want to get up this comment and go back to please, yes, do call the U.S. Capitol switchboard, area code 202-224-3121. Get in touch with both of your senators. Keep on them. Tell them David Chipman does not belong leading the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. We don't need a Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. That needs to be a convenience store. That does not need to be a regulatory arm of the government. So, I think I'm going to keep this one short. I have had some issues with energy lately, and I've had a lot of issues this past weekend with it doesn't take long and the migraines start building up, and so I'm going to keep this one short. I do plan on every day, Monday through Friday this week, coming out and doing one of these. I've already got planned. The Ulis are coming back on Friday to do their normal Friday guest appearance, and we're going to be talking on Friday with the Ulis when they come on about defending a third party, which is something that it's not often covered in depth. Is what do you do? A convenience store is being held up. Do you intervene? We're going to be going really, really in depth into that, and I think what they've got to say might surprise you. So, I will let you all go for today. This is going to be a real short one, only about 18 minutes. I want to thank you for watching. Thanks everybody for commenting. Gerald, I see you coming in there in the comments over on the Facebook side. Thank you. Thank you, Charlie. Charlie is making a trip from Sioux Falls, my hometown, back down to North Carolina. He's doing the trip back home after an intense 40 hours of training. So thank you, Charlie, for tuning in. DJ Play My Nice, I almost consider you one of the staff. You're here every day putting your comments in. You're always on point. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, everybody.